A very good afternoon to all of you. How are you all? So I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. Yes? No issues there? I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session, How to Approach Para-Jumbles for CAT and other management entrance tests. So today we'll talk about not just the type in the answer para-jumbles which are asked in CAT, but we'll also discuss how to approach para-jumbles in general, even when you are given the options, right? So we'll discuss both the types. So, all right. Give me a hi, a hello, so that I know you are here. Good afternoon, Anukriti. Right. Okay, perfect. So, as I told you, the agenda would, of course, be that we learn the varied question types, right? And we learn the approach to these question types, right? Particular focus will be on type in the answer para-jumbles because in CAT, you are not given options, and that makes things a little trickier. So, we'll focus a lot on type in the answer para-jumbles today so that they're easier for you in the exam. All right. So, I think this is something that I have discussed with you in our previous para jumble sessions, in our para completion sessions, even in our para summary sessions. It all starts from here, understanding what a paragraph is. If you understood what a paragraph is, if you've understood how to read a paragraph, half the job is already done for these question types. Right? So, yes, tell me what a paragraph is, Anukriti. So, in a para jumble, one paragraph is jumbled up for you. Okay, its sentences are arranged in a different order than what they actually have. So, first understanding what a paragraph is will help you to again rearrange them, untangle them again, isn't it? A paragraph is a collection of sentences. I'm sure all of you must have noticed this. And these sentences are interconnected. Okay, they are interconnected sentences. How are they connected? They share a common theme. That's how they are connected with each other. They're talking about one common thing. That's why, as a writer, when you write, why would you categorize something into a paragraph when, it carries one common theme? It's trying to say one particular thing, and that's why you put it in one paragraph. Okay, that's why you decided to start another paragraph for saying another thing. So, these are interconnected sentences carrying a common theme. Remember that. Okay, because this will help you in solving a parajumble, interconnected and theme. Because ultimately, what skills are a parajumble question testing? Are parajumble questions testing? See, comprehension, which is about the theme, and organization, which is about this interconnectedness that we just discussed. Yes? So, basically, when you are arranging a parajumble question, right, when you're arranging a parajumble to, let's say, the original paragraph as it is meant to be, you need to understand what the paragraph is about. Otherwise, how will you do it? If you don't understand what the paragraph is talking about, what the sentences are trying to convey, it will be very difficult for you to find out, okay, these two sentences must come together. So, first things first, you have to understand the sentences, right? And secondly, you should know how to arrange, how to connect the sentences together. What makes these two sentences inseparable, right? Knowing that is your organization skill. And trust me, the more you read, the more it benefits you for these question types: para jumbles, para summary, para completion, all these three question types. Okay, because when you read more and more, your comprehension skills improve and you are able to anticipate what is going to come next, right? You can anticipate, okay, so after this sentence, so for instance, if I write a sentence such as, sure, there are some disadvantages of this policy. Sure, there are some advantages, or let's take disadvantages of this policy. Okay, so if you are an avid reader, you understand this, that when you use this word, sure, this is the case. That means you're going to discount this idea later on. You are going to follow it up with a but. You're going to discount this idea. But Largely, it's a useful policy. Largely, it is a beneficial policy. So, how did I develop this understanding? By reading. I noticed that whenever the author says this thing, sure, later on the author always discounts this idea. Sure, but. Hi, Prateek. So, comprehension, organization, these are the two skills that are tested, right? And the more you read, the better you become at them. The more you read, the better you become at anticipation, something that helps you tremendously when it comes to organizing sentences, right? Anticipating what is going to come next, guessing what is going to come next. All right, now, then, if this is clear, let's now come to the approach. How should you approach a parajumble question? The first thing that I've seen is that students think that they'll be able to, they want to actually solve a parajumble question without actually reading the sentences. Okay, that's something that I've noticed. Students ask me, how can we do this quickly? How can we do this by not reading all the entire sentence? See, it is possible to perhaps do it for a very easy question, but the questions that you get in CAT, there I don't think that you can arrange the entire parajumble without reading the sentences in their entirety. Right. So the first thing that I would suggest to you always is that read with concentration. Okay, don't think that, okay, I'll be able to get away with a parajumble question of CAT level without reading the sentence at all. It does not work that way. So read with concentration, not just read with concentration. Notice the kinds of words that have been used. Notice any particular connectors, but, sure, but, okay. However, as a result, notice any connectors that have been used. Okay. Notice if, let's say, a particular word has been used and then we are using its synonym. That means, okay, perhaps this is an important idea. That's why I am bringing it up again and again in my paragraph. So you need to read with concentration because you are hunting for some clues to arrange your sentences. Fine. Okay. So first thing is that you read with concentration. What next? Next is that you search for clues. Right? You've seen those LRDI sets. I'm sure that you have practiced some LRDI sets and you've seen those sets where we have to make people sit in a row. Yes? So we are given some clues. Okay, A can come only between B and C. Right? So what do? You first read your LRDI set with concentration, then you notice the clues, and then you arrange people accordingly. The same approach works for parajumbles also. Just that the clues here, they are not written point by point for you. Those clues are not written that way for you. The clues lie in the words. As I told you, some keywords will have synonyms, right? You will see they're being repeated again and again. So you will realize that, okay, because this idea is getting repeated, it's an important idea. Let me see which two sentences are very closely related in terms of the idea. That's a theme-based clue for you. Then you'll see, okay, here we name a person and then in the next sentence we call this person he. So probably, I'm saying probably, the name comes first and the pronoun comes later. So the noun pronoun relationship is what you've spotted. So search for clues. What kinds of clues? These three kinds of clues: theme based, structure based, and grammar based clues. Theme based rely on what is being discussed, right? You will see certain phrases, certain words, certain ideas being discussed, being elaborated on, being even contrasted with. Okay, so pay attention to such words, such phrases, such ideas. Structure based, how my paragraph flows, right? For instance, when we detail a recipe, yes, have you seen any recipes online, as in not the video, but let's say the script there, right? The process. So it says first add this, then go for this. So this first, then, this tells me, okay, this is how the paragraph is flowing. First I have to do this, then of course this sentence will come first, then this sentence will come later. So you do have such structure-based clues also at times in the paragraph. Okay, sometimes you realize, okay, it's a problem solution paragraph. So most likely the problem will come first, the solution later. Sometimes you realize it's a compare contrast paragraph. So we are comparing one scientist with another scientist. So first the entire discussion about one scientist will happen, then we'll discuss the other scientist, right? So the structure based clues also help. And lastly, the most reliable ones, the grammar based clues. So I just talked to you about noun pronoun relationship, right? We just talked about connectors, those connecting words. But however, as a result, additionally, moreover, right? They help you to arrange sentences. Okay, the sentence with moreover, maybe there's an idea before this that is there in one of the sentences that should come first, and then the sentence with moreover should come. Okay, so a lot of students think, oh, we know all of this, but the thing is that maybe you know these things but you're not applying them, and that is why in a type in the answer question your accuracy is low. So let's learn how to apply it as well. Here's an activity for you. This is a very simple question. I want you to arrange it on your own and give me the answer in the chat box, right? No options are required, actually it is so simple, and then let's discuss it, right? So let's attempt this. Pratik, Anukriti, yes. Let's see. I expect 7 responses. Okay, Shantanu has answered the fastest. All right. Others? Saloni has also answered. A very easy question, isn't it? It is full of clues. All right. Anukriti, what about you? Okay. All right. Perfect. So, all of you in one single voice tell me that CADB is the sequence, and you are absolutely correct. CADB is indeed the sequence. And this is a CAT 2020 question. I did not give you an easy question on purpose just because, let's say, this was the introductory question. This is an actual exam question. So you see, it is not that every question is going to be difficult. That's one thing. Okay, I'm not saying that every question is going to be of this level, but do not go with this impression. Students have a lot of prejudice against these questions because they think that, okay, no options are given to us. This is going to be a difficult question type. Let me not waste my time with this question type. No, at least give them a shot. At least try to build accuracy here. Okay, maybe you realize that they are your unexpected strengths. Yes, these questions. Okay, now what I have done is I have highlighted clues according to the type. Okay, so for instance, these purple ones, they are theme-based clues, these violet ones, sorry. So Japanese gods, Japanese deities, Buddhist gods, Hindu gods, Taoist gods. We are talking about gods in this paragraph, right? The theme is to talk about Japanese deities primarily, and then we are categorizing them, right? So theme-based clues right there. Okay. Then if you see seven, only two of them, the others. So these are grammar based clues as well as structure based clues. Because if we first say seven, then we talk about only two of them and then the others. There's a flow to this, isn't it? First you'll say seven, then only two of them, then the others. So these are grammar plus your structure based clues. And these are exclusively grammar based clues. Each one. So what does this each one refer to? We must have discussed some gods before this, right? So that's why C should come before A, right? Then, although they were included, what does this they refer to? This they refers to the gods, the seven gods whom we have been discussing. Okay, then we come with the others, right? So I hope the flow of this paragraph is clear to you. C is clearly an opening sentence because it tells me what is it that I'm going to discuss in the rest of my sentences. A should come afterwards because there is another theme based connection that I may not have highlighted, but which is very, very apparent. Good luck and happiness. I should have highlighted this also. This is a theme based clue, right? So imagine it in violet color. Good luck and happiness, good fortune. See A make a thematic connection, a very strong one. So this is how you attempt your type in the answer parajumble question. So I first of all realized that okay, CA is a pair based on the theme and also a bit on grammar. Then I decided that okay, AD is a pair because till now in C, A and D the discussion is about all seven. In D then I branch out and categorize them as two of them and the others. So then DB is a pair and even AD is a pair. So in a four sentence parajumble, I identified three mandatory pairs. That's how we call them. Okay, sentences that must exist together. Nothing can come in between them. They're inseparable, right? So that's how you attempt a type in the answer parajumble. Okay, so you read with concentration, you hunted for clues, you got this right. Let's see what else you have to do. The third thing is that sometimes reading the first few words, by read me, I mean read the entire sentence, but yes, place emphasis on these. Read them a little more carefully because a lot of times some of your major clues may reside right in the beginning. So, for instance, if you see this question itself, see each one, the others, seven, although they. So, a lot of major clues here were in the beginning itself. So, pay attention to the first few words, right? They may help you. All right. So, with this, now let's see an MCQ question. Okay. I first gave you a non MCQ one. Now I'm giving you one with options, right? So, take the help of options, but don't try to solve completely through options. What I mean by that is, what students do is they'll first read the parajumble in this sequence, then they'll eliminate it, then this sequence. That's a very lengthy way, a very long way to attempt this question. First, you read the sentences, make sense of them, hunt for clues, make some pairs, and then eliminate. That should be your strategy. Okay. And one thing that you can take help of is yes, you can glance at the option. So you can see, okay, four cannot be the opening sentence. That's all that I've got from glancing at the options. That four is not the opening sentence here. Okay, so this much help you can take. Now, attempt this and tell me the answer. Yes, again, expecting 6, 7 responses at least. Okay. Got my first response. What about others? That's it. Just one response. What about others? No negative marking here, right? Just make a guess. I need one more response at least. Saloni, what do you say? Prateek, Abhishek. Okay, Yash says B, Abhishek says C. All right. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Interesting question, isn't it? So this is a ZAT previous year question. Okay. Again, trying to keep the level actual. Okay. As I mean, the same as the actual level of the exams. So, uh, see, let's implement whatever we discussed. So, I hope you read with concentration. Yes. I hope you hunted for clues. And I hope you found a lot of them in the first few words. Right. So one thing is very clear to me. See, even when I go for a vertical scan, as I like to call it, one thing was clear to me that probably it's likely that 5 comes before 4 and 1 because he here refers to the person. Also, I established from the options that 4 is not the opening sentence. So, okay, that also helps me. 5 comes before 4 and 1. I'm not talking about the order of 4 and 1 right now. I'm just making this guess here. Let me see on the basis of this, can I narrow down to some options? Okay, yes, B has 5 before 4 and 1. This has 1 before, so okay, right now eliminating this. I'll probably come back to this, but right now I'm eliminating this. Okay, here also, and eliminating this. So just by this random vertical scan, I have tentatively eliminated 2 of my options. Right, now let me try to understand this paragraph. Okay, these sentences. Okay, he may suppose this, but perhaps he does not. Okay, so I went for the shortest sentence here. He may suppose this, so that means we are supposing something. Okay, let's read this. The person one gives the definition to does not know what one wants to call two. He will suppose that two is the name given to this group of nuts. So he will suppose something. See, suppose I made a theme based connection here. So he may suppose this, but perhaps he does not. Then I'll read this he because I feel that they are connected. He might make the opposite mistake. Again, a theme based connection. So, what he supposed, then I said he may suppose this, but perhaps he does not. He might make the opposite mistake. 5, 4, 1 looks like a sequence to me. Okay. And in which option do I spot this? I spot this in option B. Let me now read 2, 3, 5, 4, 1 in that order. Okay. Now, one can ostensibly define a proper name, the name of a color, the name of a material, a numeral, the name of a point of the compass, and so on. So, we can define a lot of things, one of them being a numeral. Then we discuss the defining of a numeral. Let's say the number 2. So, this is an example actually. that we are carrying forward through the other sentences through 3541. This was the opening sentence where we talked about defining things. Okay, that apparently you can define a lot of things. Now you talk about, okay, how to define the number 2. Okay, so we talk about, okay, that you can point to two nuts and you can say that, okay, this is 2. But how can 2 be defined like that? Because the person you are giving definition to might suppose something, and he might even suppose the opposite. So you see, 23541 is our sequence here. Okay, good. I think one of you said B, but then deleted it later. Yash said B, right? So Yash, you were correct in your guess. B is the answer here. And this is slightly abstract, a little abstract, I would call it. Not your usual newspaper report kind of a paragraph, but if you make the connections like I did, the person, the connections were so easy to make using this approach, and you had the added advantage of the options. When you have the options, make use of them. Okay, eliminate, make a pair and then eliminate. Okay, be confident. When you've made a couple of pairs, you become confident. Okay, this looks like a sequence, so on that basis you can eliminate very easily, right? So I had theme-based clues here, again might make the opposite mistake. Opposite of what? The mistake, this, right? So we had theme-based clues here, the definition of a numeral and number 2, define, define, define and definition. We had a lot of grammar-based clues, he, this, the person, he, right? He, all right. And okay, this was actually a red flag. I understand that some of you may not have thought of this as the sequence because you thought that a paragraph cannot begin with now. This now must come after something. You must have thought this. So remember this, that a paragraph can begin with just about anything. It can begin even with but. It can begin even with indeed. So don't think that it cannot begin with such connectors. Why? Because at the end of the day, it is just a paragraph. It is not a complete essay in itself that it needs to have a very clear-cut opening sentence. This now is probably continuing some idea that was touched upon in the previous paragraph. Okay, so it is absolutely possible for a paragraph to begin with such connectors. Clear, Chirag? I hope I've clarified your confusion. Okay, so you read with concentration, you hunted for clues, you even read the first few words. But is it sufficient? Can I have some more help? Yes, you can spot. If you can spot the opening or closing sentences, nothing like it. But a lot of students see that as the starting point. That if they are not able to spot the opening sentence, they are not able to proceed. They don't proceed until they find it. Don't be that stubborn. See, if it's a clear-cut opening sentence, you'll find it pretty easily, right? If it's not that clear-cut, then just rely on your mandatory pair approach. That's a foolproof approach, right? Just rely on that. Okay? So, let's look at a question now. I've given you these directions. There are 4 sentences below, and when they're sequenced properly, they'll yield a coherent paragraph. You have to decide on the proper sequences and you have to key in the sequence of the 4 numbers as your answer. So it's a type in the answer, parajumble. Okay, so here's your question. These are the sentences. Look at them. Again, trust me, there are a number of clues. Don't get bogged down by the length of the sentences by thinking, oh, there's so much to read. Don't be lazy. Be active. Read with concentration. Focus on the first few words. Hunt for clues. And I assure you, there's a very clear-cut opener in this. You will be able to attempt this easily. Yes, all of you, attempt this. Okay. All right. Happy to see that almost all of you have been able to identify the opening sentence. Good. All right. Let's have a look at this. So, see, you attempted it so quickly, even though the sentences appear to be lengthy. So, do not have such prejudices. Again, uh, even a lengthy parajumble can be an easy one, right? So, they, who does this they refer to? This refers to biologists. So, most likely 2 is going to come before 3. That's how I arrange, and I keep some distance between 2 and 3 because I'm not absolutely sure that this is a mandatory pair. I'll check 1 and 4 and then only I'll write them together like this. Okay. So they studied something. Their ability to regenerate. Whose regeneration are we talking about? See, regeneration, regenerate. I found a theme-based clue here. But here also I talk about regeneration. So I need to decide. But again, one thing that I notice, a grammar-based clue, we are talking about other animal species in one. Yes, other. So let's read it. Let's find out who is the animal species who's being discussed here. So biologists have discovered a uniquely rapid form of regeneration in injured neurons. Okay. And their function in the central nervous system of zebrafish. Okay. So we are talking about zebrafish. So how have they discovered it? 3 explains it. They studied the Mothner cells, which are solely responsible for the escape behavior of the fish and previously regarded as incapable of regeneration. So this is how they found it out. Most likely 2, 3 is a mandatory pair. Now, however, their ability to regenerate, so earlier it was thought that they were incapable of regeneration. However, their ability to regenerate crucially depends on the location of the injury, where the injury happened. In the central nervous systems of other animal species, such a comprehensive regeneration of neurons has not yet been proven beyond doubt. So tell me, should it be 2314 or should it be 2341? Yes, 2314 or 2341? Chirag Y14, Abhishek Y41, Saloni Y14. So when I say there, am I talking about the other animal species here? When I say there, I am saying that here things have not even been proven beyond doubt. So this is going to come later on. Okay, this there refers to zebrafish itself. So it's going to be 2341 and not 2314. Okay, makes sense. 2341 because when I say their ability to regenerate, whose ability to regenerate? About other animal species, such a comprehensive regeneration has not yet been proven beyond doubt. अभी तक तो prove ही नहीं हुई है beyond doubt. So can I state this fact then? However, it crucially depends on the location of the injury. No, we have not even proven anything about them beyond doubt. So this their ability to regenerate refers to zebrafish itself. First, we'll complete this discussion and then we'll talk about the other species. Okay, hence 2341. I hope this is clear. Good that you spotted that 2 is the opening sentence and 2, 3 is a pair. Many of you did that. Okay, so things that we have learned so far, these 4. Now, find multiple pairs or orders. Something that I told you that in a 4-sentence parajumble, we have 3 mandatory pairs there. So find multiple pairs. This helps even when you're given options. If you find multiple pairs, elimination becomes much easier. Okay, so here for instance, see, I first spotted that 2, 3 is a pair. Then I related 3 with 4. And then I said that, okay, such a comprehensive regeneration, we are talking about this 3 and 4. So that's why 3, 4, 1 is a sequence. So I spotted 3 pairs here, right? Not just 1 or 2. Because if you spot just 1 or 2, then you arrange the remaining sentence just randomly in the beginning or at the end, and that's where you make a mistake. The entire thing goes wrong then. Okay, let's have a look at this question. Again, the sentences appear lengthy, but trust me, it's not a difficult question. Read the sentences, understand them, you'll get it. Let's see what you say for this one. Okay, got one response. All right, another. Okay, okay. Abhishek has answered again. So I'm happy that Abhishek and Shantanu, both of you have realized this, that two should be the opening sentence here, and that this is a problem solution paragraph. Remember, in the beginning, I talked to you about structure based clues. There I said that, okay, a paragraph can be a problem solution paragraph. That could be its flow. That first we discuss the problem, then we talk about the solution. This is that kind of a paragraph. Okay, so see this myriad and diverse reasons. There can be multiple reasons behind environmental collapse. That's what we say in two. And then one talks about those reasons from chemical pollutants in the environment to the damming of rivers to invasive species. Okay, every environmental issue is different because they have different reasons, right? And there's no single tech solution that can solve this crisis. So, two and one is a very strong pair here. We talk about diverse reasons, and in one, we talk about the different issues which can have different reasons behind them. Then 3 and 4, they talk about the solution. So, should it be 4 3? Should it be 3 4? Now, see, 3 says this would require legislation. So, this grammar based clue helps us tremendously here. What would require legislation that recognizes the rights? I need to talk about some solution. Okay, need to talk about some step that would require legislation before 3, isn't it? So it should be 4 and then 3, not the other way around. Okay, so clearly our environmental crisis requires large political solutions. I first need to mention that, okay, we require large political solutions, right? And therefore, to implement these large political solutions, this would require legislation that recognizes the rights of future generations and other species. Get it? So that's why it is going to be 2143. Let me see how many of you said that. So Abhishek said that. Okay. Then apart from him, Chirag also said 2143. Good, good. That's okay, Shantanu. So this might be, for some of you, this might be perhaps a second, third session on para jumble. So it's absolutely fine, right? You become better at typing the answer parajumbles through practice. There is no other alternative, right? Good. So those of you who said 2143, that is the answer here. Okay. So pay attention to the clues, pay attention to the structure, pay attention to the theme. That's how you go about these. And lastly, do revise. Okay, once you've made a sequence, so let's say for the previous one, you made the sequence 2134. Then just read your sentences in that order. It's not time wasted. In fact, you'll read it very speedily because you've just read the sentences for making pairs. So read it quickly. If something is off, sometimes you're able to catch it when you revise the sequence, right? So on this note, let's have one more question. And I hope, sorry, so four sentences here. Again, you have to form the sequence. And again, read the sentences carefully because there are a lot of clues, but you have to spot them, right? हैं इसमें clues, but अच्छे से theme based relations बनाना है इसमें. All right? Read it. Louis, which part? Okay. All right. So Abhishek, have you also said 1342 in response to this one, this question? Okay. So the question is, which is the opening sentence here? Is it one? Is it four? Some of us say one, some of us say four. Okay. So can we all agree that 1, 3 is a pair? Because the responses that I've got from you, all of you say that 1, 3 is a pair. Yes, and it's easy to spot it also because we talk about brain here and we say it cannot be aware of every single thing that happens in the world around you. Right. Now comes the theme based clues. So it cannot be aware of every single thing that happens in the world around you, right? Sometimes big shifts happen in front of your eyes. So, see, we were talking about things happening in the world around you. Sometimes big shifts happen in front of your eyes, and you are not at all aware of these changes. So, we were talking about awareness of the things happening, and even in 4, we are talking about the awareness of the shifts happening, the things happening, right? So, actually, 3 and 4 are thematically related. And if let's say you think, okay, but how can I make 3 4 a pair? Right now, don't make it a pair. But you should be able to spot this that 4 2 is a pair. Okay. See this, because in 2 we say this tendency of people to be blind to changes. This tendency, which tendency? The one that we just discussed in 4. Big shifts happening in front of your eyes and you are not at all aware of these changes. So, this tendency to be blind to changes, right? Even though they are in the immediate environment. So, 4 2 is a pair. So, now it becomes a matter of should it be 4 2 1 3? Should it be 1 3 4 2? So, basically, it comes down to whether 2 1 is a better pair or 3 4 is a better pair. Yes, if I look at 2 and 1, if I look at 2 and 1, so we talk about that psychologists use the term change blindness to describe this tendency of people to be blind to changes. So then see, first I describe something, then I name the phenomenon, then I'll again describe it. Doesn't it look off structurally? Okay, the flow of this paragraph was that first you described something and in the end you named it. That was the flow of this paragraph, and that's why some students find it challenging. Because usually we first name and then we elaborate. Here we had first described things and then we had given a name to that. So if I make 4 to 1 3 as the sequence, it breaks the flow. It first describes, then names, then again starts describing. No, it is 1 3 4 2. Okay, does it make sense? 1 3 4 2. Any query, please ask. And yes, if you found value in today's session, if you enjoyed the session, whatever we've discussed so far, if things are clear to you, then please press the like button. I also hope that you've subscribed to our channel. Very important for you to get notifications for the upcoming sessions. So, the advice that I would like to leave you with, reading will help you tremendously in anticipating what is going to come next, as I told you in the beginning itself. Practice is something that's very essential, particularly when it comes to type in the answer. So practice some MCQs initially in case you feel that, okay, this is a specially hard topic for you, then jump to type in the answer. And lastly, these questions do require patience. Initially, you might see that, okay, I am taking 4 minutes for one question. Okay, and you might panic, oh, how am I going to solve this in the exam? But that's okay. Initially, it does take more time. Time, with practice, you lower down the time that you take. Okay, so it takes some patience. So don't get bogged down by inaccurate answers or by taking more time, right? Keep practicing. All the very best to you. This is a new CAT batch that we have. Okay, it's a pretty comprehensive 2023 targeted batch, right? And you can see that there is a lot of stuff available in this, right? A lot of material, a lot of guidance, of course, a lot of lectures. So, in case you're interested, I think now is the time to enroll because you do require some months to prepare sincerely for CAT. Okay. Then, in case you're worried about what your strategy should be if you took CAT earlier as well, right? That, okay, what went wrong last time, how I can correct it, how much should I practice every day? All those questions, they'll be answered in this workshop on the 25th of Feb at 7 p.m. Okay, so do attend. You need to register right now because there is a limited number of seats that is available. Okay, and those of you who are taking TISNET, so for them specifically, because you know TISNET can be a make or break section, we've started this series. It has been live from the 19th. Okay, we see you at 9:30 p.m. every day and discuss some GK questions with you. So yes, do join. After the exam, do join us for a detailed analysis where we'll discuss, okay, what should have been the ideal number of attempts, what was the exam pattern, all of those things at 5:30 p.m. on the 25th of February. And yes, I hope we stay connected, right? You can stay connected with us through Telegram also. This is a group that we have for our MBA aspirants. So you can join this and stay connected, ask your queries there. Of course, I am assuming that you've subscribed to the channel. If you haven't, then do it right now. And you can even download our app because there also we conduct specific sessions targeted towards CAT 2023. Right? So to build your vocabulary, to work on your grammar, RC passages, you can join this as well. All right, then this is it from my side for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, or day after, or whenever the session is. So I'll see you with another session. Bye bye. See you.